Hello? Yeah, I'm gonna be there in like 10 minutes, okay? Okay, I got all my stuff. I'm gonna be out the door right now, okay? Alright, bye. Okay, so I have my keys, I have my wallet, and I got my phone, so I'm ready to go. Okay, bye. Forgetting something. This. So, we all know what this item is. This is going to be my mask, a cotton mask to be exact. But this item has kind of barged its way into our lives, whether we like it or not, within these past 6 months. It is a representation, I think, of a culture that's being developed right now, and it's still a culture, developing culture, the longer that this disease is floating around right now. And I think it's a representation of precaution that people are taking to make themselves keep themselves safe, keep their families safe. I think it is a perfect item to represent 2020 in itself, I think. But I have heard a lot of phrases saying "my mask, my body." A lot of people are refusing to wear masks, even though like health officials are telling them, and it's been proven that the masks do help reduce the chances of you transmitting the disease while you're out in public. So there are a couple articles that I did find, one of them being from cdc.gov. Just a little bit of history as well. Masks have been used all the way up until from the earliest 20th century. They've been used to protect healthcare workers specifically because they're the only ones who used it recently or before COVID, and protecting them from infectious diseases. In the past, they used them to protect themselves from scary diseases like tuberculosis and different airborne diseases. Studies also prove that wearing a simple cotton mask can heavily protect you from transmitting the disease. Countries have been using masks, like China have been using masks for years, out in public, not just inside of hospitals. And now they're starting to make their way into our everyday lives. I think a couple years ago, if you were to see somebody wear a mask out in public, you would have thought you were crazy. Even me, when I would go to urgent care, things like that, and I would see regular patients wearing the mask and not just the healthcare workers, it would be kind of weird. They would have masks there for you that you could wear if you feel like you needed to wear one inside of the urgent care, and I would always not want to wear one because I thought it would look weird, and now look where we are now. So there are a good amount of people who agree that wearing the masks do help prevent, from catching the disease or spreading the disease, I should say. But is a good amount of people who don't. So this cotton mask, just to kind of explain how it works, when you put it on, you do have to cover your nose and your mouth. So obviously covering your nose and your mouth does, cover like the openings on your face minus your eyes. But the fibers inside of the mask help prevent your own germs from spreading through. So the fibers catch the germs as well as they can from it going and passing into the air. So contrary to like what a lot of people believe, and I think where a lot of people don't see the importance of wearing masks, is it doesn't help you from catching the disease, but it helps you from spreading it. So with COVID, for example, you can have symptoms of COVID, or not have any symptoms, and still have the disease. So wearing the mask in public will help you from transmitting those diseases, even though if you feel like you don't have any symptoms. So I think that's why it's important to wear one at all times, because, you don't want to unknowingly pass that disease around. And if you're sick, obviously you just don't go outside. But the CDC website does rank a lot of different masks that are available. Some are more readily available than others. The ones that are a little bit more rare are like the respirators, the N95 masks. But these cotton masks are the ones that are easily found in stores. And ones that are more common now as the months go on are the medical grade ones, so the blue ones. Each are pretty effective. Some are more effective than others, but this cotton mask will do just as good as a job if you wear it correctly and if you wear it when you're supposed to. My mask means a lot to me because it's a kind of a representation of how I keep my family safe. So I have 2 kids. One of them is 9. The other one is, whoa, don't tell him I did not just forget his age, but he's 6. He just turned 6. So I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. And it is important to me to keep them safe because obviously they're younger, their immune systems are a little bit more compromised. I myself am not so scared of catching the disease myself. I feel like, you know, if it were to infect me, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't die or anything like that, but I mean, I do take it seriously, but I'm not afraid of it myself, but I am afraid of passing it on to my kids or them getting it. So it's important for me to wear them when I go out and for them to wear it as well. I think that showing, like, wearing a mask and deciding to wear one and not to wear one does show a person's true colors. So again, when you're wearing it and you're doing it to protect not yourself from catching the disease, but to passing it on to other people, I think that does show someone's true colors if they decide not to wear one. So it basically shows them how much they care about the others around them. In my opinion, it kind of, I mean, I don't want to judge a book by its cover, but it's kind of self-explanatory. Like, if you don't care about those around you, you don't stay 6 feet away from each other, or you choose not to stay 6 feet away from them, and you decide not to wear a mask, it kind of just shows you how that person views the people around them and how much they care when they're going out. Other countries and states have been benefiting from using masks, and I think if we were to limit the amount of people catching the disease, we have the opportunity to do that by wearing masks. Why won't people decide to do it? It's so easy. It's easier than like going to a clinic, and if there was a vaccine, then getting a vaccine. It gives you the opportunity to go out still and not stay at home, and you can still be out and about. You just have to wear the mask. But if you go onto the New York Times website, they have a detailed map of where in the U.S. they mandatorily require to wear masks. And there's a correlation of the requirement of masks and the number of infected people in each state. So by looking at the information, you can see, like on the website, you can see how effective the masks are. And it's crazy to think that, like, there are people that are still against wearing them. Even seeing after all these correlation of numbers and like how much masks are helping, there are still people out there that just don't care and won't wear them. So I think if 2020 could be summed up in one item, minus like maybe a bottle of hand sanitizer, like this in itself can totally just represent the culture of people wearing it, not wanting to wear it, kind of show the divide that's going on. There's so much going on in the world right now, but I think this truly does show kind of the culture it's created and this whole COVID madness within the past couple of months. I don't know if you've ever encountered a person who's wearing a mask and not wearing a mask, and they may have elderly people in their family or they have kids, and they're very passionate about it. They're very concerned for bringing that disease home and infecting it to their loved ones. So no matter how safe you keep yourself at home, if you go out somewhere and somebody else is not taking those precautions, it's a little bit upsetting because you're taking all of these precautions to keep yourself and your family safe, and somebody who just decides not to wear a mask for a couple of minutes while inside the store running to go get some milk can mess that up for you. And so I feel like, that's why it sparks such a debate between people, because there's people out there who really care about their families, and there's people who don't care about their own families or about your own family. So I hope all this information I gave you kind of gave you a little bit of insight, and why to wear a mask, why not wear a mask, and I hope it makes you a little bit easier for you to make a decision whether you want to wear one or not. I'm not going to judge you at all, but I did give you a lot of information about it, so hopefully you guys decide to wear your mask when you're out in public. But again, I just think it's a good representation of today and a representation for me of how I keep myself safe and my family safe. So thanks for listening, guys, and I look forward to your other speeches. Bye.